the most important decision, aside from giving your life to Christ, number one, that one is standard, is who you marry. I keep saying this thing because marriage has the power to make or break your destiny.
Forgiveness is between me and God. Reconciliation is between me and the person, and it requires repentance. It requires changed behavior.
Yes.
If you don't do that, you're just opening yourself up for further abuse. We like to religiosify certain things that, need work. Some things go by prayer. Some things you need to sit down and deal with. My hope that of what people take away from this book is there is an urgency with which you need to live your life.
I love fried rice. Can you imagine? Adeyele on top fried rice.
You guys go why? Yeah, go why? Yeah.
I am the originator of the song, so I dictate how it's meant to be sung.
That's very monotone.
Adeyele, when are you coming?
Let's speak to that Italian. Oh, why labor don't be money? Are you serious? Yes.
Welcome to my story. It's my time. I Have the Floor podcast starts now.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of I Have the Floor. I am full of joy today and I want to know how you guys doing. Hope you are thriving, hope you are growing, hope cycles are breaking, hope you are healthy, mind, body, and spirit. Today, I am joined by one of my oldest friends, one of my greatest friends, one of my besties, one of my girls. We've been friends since we were 6 and we are still here today. It's everything that life has been throwing us up and down, but we are here. I've been saying this since morning. I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm full of joy and I'm more... I told you I didn't want to cry. It's going to start again.
We will get there eventually. Don't worry. Don't cry now. We shall go cry for this episode. No wonder.
My friend Adaobi.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Mrs. A is here.
Hi.
We are going to be talking about a lot of things today, but just to break the ice and let us just enter small because I know when this lady comes here, everything is always very heavy. So we're going to do some icebreakers. I have 3 categories here for you.
Okay.
Actually 4, but pick 2 for the sake of time.
Okay, 2. Okay.
Pick 2 and let's see. I don't even know what is there, but let's go.
I will pick 2. Okay, so the first one is... Oh, wow. Okay, what's one decision that completely changed the course of your life?
Yeah.
No longer allowing but what people thought about me to determine what I do.
There we go.
Easily, simply. That's
Easy.
like, it has... I mean, we'll get into it eventually, but if there's one thing that has completely, changed the course of my life, changed the way I think, partnering with God to sort out identity and understanding that who I am in Him cannot be in competition with what I feel like other people expect me to do or who they expect me to be.
There we go.
So yeah, that's the answer to that question.
You have just
deep already. I'm
it's
sorry.
like
Please.
you were here. And
I
now
apologize.
because that's exactly what I was talking about. I think that if I were to answer that question, I would say the same thing. Yeah. And this happened in the last 4 or 5 years where I was like, I don't care what you think about me. My worth, my identity is in God. If it doesn't align with your beliefs, fine. As long as I'm right with God, I'm good.
Yeah.
See, this is why this is account people that are my friends. I don't have time for nonsense. Yeah. Second question.
Okay, second one. What is the kindest thing someone has ever done for you? Oh gosh. I would say, and it's interesting that this is my answer, but I would say that the kindest thing that anyone has ever done for me was my husband. Him giving me room to grow and calling me higher, but doing it in such a way that he did not make me feel less than. So it's like holding the tension between requiring someone to be better, but doing it in such a way that you don't make them feel like what they are right now is not enough.
Oof. Where is he? Can we all get?
He's
That's
at
so
work.
powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful
You are
thing
not
to have.
less than, but you can be
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
And encouraging you in the
yeah,
right way.
exactly. Yeah.
Sure, you can see why I keep telling people, I've said this so many times, the most important decision, aside from giving your life to Christ, number one, that one is standard, is who you marry. I keep saying this thing. I've said it. I think I've even said it. We've spoken about this.
Yeah.
It is by far the most important decision that you can make if you choose that you want to marry, because marriage has the power to make or break your destiny. Point blank period. So shout out to Mr. Al. We love you. We appreciate you. And God will bless
Yeah.
you. As you can see, we have some books here. And it wasn't written by a ghost. My friend, one of my greatest friends, I keep saying this thing. She has written a book. And I have read this book. And I'm not a reader. I don't read books, which is not good. I only read my Bible. Actually, that's a lie. I read The Power of Your Dreams by Stephanie Ike.
It's a
I'm
very
not
good
really,
book, by
it
the
is a
way.
very
Yeah.
good book. I don't really read, but I couldn't put this. And I'm not saying this because you are here, because I have the receipts to show. I was disturbing you at like 1
Yeah,
a.m.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah.
where were you when you wrote this book?
Aish.
What were you doing? I cried. You were there. I cried. I was crying. I couldn't sleep.
Oh, wow.
I could not sleep. It's like you wrote it for me. I wish I had this book.
You're going to
10
make me
years
cry
ago.
now. Yeah, because literally, that was the reason why I wrote it.
I wish I had this book
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
No question. But it was made for this time. And that's okay.
Thank God.
Well done.
Thank you.
Please, if I've not said this, I'm saying it now. When this book hits Amazon, Barnes and Noble, everywhere, please, if you have children, daughters, mothers, look, doesn't matter whether you're 80, you're still alive, means that you have something to do. This book is like a lifeline. And I'm saying that with the most sincere, like it is a lifeline. I said I was going to read it again, but this time with my notes. That's another thing. Please, if you are reading it, carry your notebook, carry your journal, and read it along, because you will have notes to write. 100%. My first question.
Hey, voila day.
What made you write this book now? What was God trying to stir in you?
So, I'll take you back maybe like 18 months ago, thereabouts. I was in church. I forget what we were doing, but for some reason that day I took my journal to church, which I typically don't. So I have different kinds of journals. I have journals for like I came to church journal, but then I have like my journal like I am spending time with God this morning journal.
Yes.
Those are two very different journals. So I took that one to church for some reason, and that day in church we were having like breakout sessions, which typically doesn't happen.
No.
Right? And so during that service, I was in a group with Pastor Auntie Lara. I call her Pastor Auntie Lara. And I was taking notes of our answers because we were going to present them at the end of the breakout session. And then she looks at me and she goes, "You know you're a scribe, right?" I'm like, okay.
But we know this too. But
Yeah.
continue.
I'm like, she was like, "Yeah, you're a scribe. You need to keep writing." And it was kind of out of left field for me, because even at that point in time, my relationship with God, and I talk about this in the book, my relationship with God we were just starting to get on even ground again, because I felt like for 9 years I didn't hear anything from God, which I usually say a man did not break my heart. It was God that broke my heart, because I don't know what I did to him and he just left me. At least that's how I felt at the time. But with time and when that season came to an end, and with understanding, I'm actually grateful for that time, because in a way it's like when he broke Jacob's hip, I feel if that did not happen, I would have been very arrogant, I would have been very prideful, and there would have been a lot of religious superiority, right? And so when I see people who are still struggling, I know what that is. and I can have empathy, and then I know how to meet them and what to say by the grace of God,
Yes.
right? So anyhow, that's an aside. So going back, she told me that, and I was like, well, okay, cool, thanks. And I mean, a lot of other things happened. I had experiences where I just started to get confirmations of, okay, these are the things you're supposed to do. I came across something I had written in 2016 where I called myself a communicator. And looking at it like, what, 8 years later, I was like, why are you so proud? Who do you think you are? So it just, I did not want to put myself in a place where I was in a spotlight necessarily, because I felt like I had tried that before and God had completely destroyed it. Rightfully so, because again, arrogance and pride, like my character was not ready for that.
Yeah. Character.
So got to a point where I was like, okay, it's time. And I just was like, no, thank you. But then another person would confirm it, and another person would confirm it, and another person would confirm it, and another person would be like,
Once have
Adobe,
I
so when are
spoken,
you?
twice
Do you
have
get what
I
I'm
heard.
saying? So at a point I was like, okay, I accepted it. I was like, okay, if you want me to write a book, cool. But I'm not just going to be writing a book for the sake of writing a book. You have to tell me,
Tell me
to
what
write.
to do.
What's the point? What is the book supposed to achieve? What's the point? So little by little, so at one point it became, I started to write quotes on my Instagram page,
Yes.
things that would come to mind. I just write it and move on. And then over time, it started to become maybe little pages. So I would write, maybe I would read. I remember one that comes very clearly to mind was Genesis 26, where Isaac has had to leave the Philistines, leave the Gerar to go to the Gerar Valley and go into the place Rehoboth, open spaces, that experience, putting myself like in the mindset of, imagine being Isaac and having that experience happen to you. And then I just did a little write-up on that. And then another one of my friends, Mazino, calls me and says, Adobe, you need to start a Substack. I'm like, you people are stressing me.
coming
By
strong.
the way, this Substack, I just born second picking. They say I
That's
should go and
true.
be doing Substack. Can I tell you, Yele, that this book, I was writing it in the midst of breastfeeding, in the midst of late nights not sleeping because somebody does not want to sleep, you know? And again, I mean, some people may say I talk about him a lot, but think about it. You have a 7-year-old, you have a baby that's what, 3-4 months, and you're writing. It can't happen if you don't have a supportive partner, or else you
Keep
lose your
saying this
mind,
thing.
you go crazy. So that as well. So I would just literally, as it would come, actually something just came to mind, and it's important I say it.
True.
The one thing that gave me the release to write this book was I needed to forgive and apologize to somebody. And it literally just came to my mind now. So I really do believe I'm supposed to say it.
Yeah.
There was, my mom passed last year. You know about this, and she was quite
Yeah.
young. It was a very painful experience. 2024 was the hardest year of my life, easily. So there were some things that happened that were just not great. Let's just put it like that. And again, tying into what we said about, people pleasing and all that stuff. There were certain relationships that were forever changed.
100%.
And there was a certain individual that it took me a long time to not only accept, but to forgive what the person did. And I actually did write about it in the book as well.
Yeah.
So I was harboring a lot of resentment and anger because I also had my part to play in what happened, and I had to take responsibility for it. I could have handled this better. I didn't. I also had to give myself grace because my mother had just died. We were planning a funeral, and I was a month pregnant with my second child. So, and it was not an easy pregnancy. So, all of that to say though, like the Lord had said, you need to apologize. And I was like, what?
Man, when God does that,
Do
the
you get?
thing is,
Yeah. Because it's not about, now, I did have the back and forth about, but they did this, and
Yes.
how could they have done that, and they did this. And he was like, yeah, but you need to apologize. You need to say sorry.
Say sorry, forgive.
And in my situation, it was a bit complicated because I wanted to apologize in a way that would not take me back to that people-pleasing place. There is a balance, and I was trying to find out what that balance was, because on one hand, I didn't want to go back to that people-pleasing place. Also, I didn't want to do it in a way that felt like self-abandonment, quite frankly. And I did not want to open myself to be hurt again because I knew that this person was not going to accept this apology.
Yes.
So it was obedience it was obedience. I was not looking to repair the relationship. I was looking to be
You're being
obedient.
obedient to God.
Right. And I talk about this in some of my prior videos where I differentiate between forgiveness and reconciliation. Those are two very different things. And I think sometimes in this context, we confuse the two of them because we use it as a tool of control. I don't need to be in a relationship with you to forgive you.
Yes.
Forgiveness is between me and God.
God.
Reconciliation is between me and the person, and it requires repentance. It requires changed behavior.
Yes.
If you don't do that, you're just opening
just
yourself up for further abuse. So that's a whole other. But I wanted to honor God, and I did not know at the time that obedience in the form of apologizing was tied in any way to this book. I sent a message to apologize. The next day, I started writing this book. I'm not joking.
Wow.
3 weeks later, I had the first draft. And then we had to rework.
I remember,
But it took
yeah.
like 4 or 5 months before we had like a final book before we started editing because it was at that point that I realized the story was always there. It was just finding a way to piece it together. And when I refer to that relationship, that was the hardest chapter that I had to write in this book because I wanted to, again, God loves this person. God is interested in the life of this person. And I wanted to use that experience as a vehicle for people to see themselves in the story. So there was also the back and forth between myself and the editor about how much to say, how much not to say.
You have to protect the identity.
Exactly. So it was difficult, but I knew that it needed to be done. And it was after that I go into the framework that I share in the book here.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
My follow-up question really was, what part of your story felt most scary to put on paper? I think
I've
that's
answered
it.
that. Actually, scary to put on paper or difficult to write, those are two very different things.
Scary.
That's a good question.
Because it's meaty. Like,
I was going to say maybe when I spoke about my relationship with food and the scale. Maybe that, because
I would have thought it was when you spoke about, do I really need to be here anymore?
Oh, okay. No, that wasn't scary. That wasn't scary because I think by the grace of God, that has kind of resolved itself.
Yeah.
To be honest, in this neck of the woods, people don't really talk about that much.
No.
Right? It's usually a thing of, I lost the weight before and after,
That's
gang, body.
Mm.
What do you do? What does it look like to be someone that is still in process? I think that was probably, but I think because I wanted to get it right, I had to even consult old journals to get dates right and to get times exactly. So I wanted to, because I wanted it to be honest.
Yes.
Because for me, it's something that is too critical and is too overlooked, especially in the life of a woman, especially in this neck of the woods, especially when women, we don't really tell ourselves the truth. Everybody's kind of covering up or having a mask, and we don't really have a lot of safe spaces to just let go and be, because we're always worried that if we say too much, the other person will judge us, because us who have judged other people, let's be honest. So that's why, we sometimes find it difficult to be vulnerable, because we know what we have said and thought about other people that were vulnerable with us. So that's how I would answer that question. Really, no cry.
It's because I can just relate with the whole. It's not every section, every chapter, every word in this book spoke directly to me. And I know that there are so many people who will begin their healing journey. Some may have stopped. They will continue based off of what they have seen and just be like, I can actually come out on the other side. You can. But you have to do the work, and you have to be honest. And I think what I'm hoping that would even come out of this is people will be more vocal about what they're going through. And I hope that even more safe spaces become available for people to just unpack everything and just let loose, so that they can begin their healing journey. Because
100%.
I don't really think we had that.
No, we did not.
We didn't.
a lot of what we're doing is, and that is what makes it quite difficult. So there's this preacher I listen. He's like my number one teacher. His name is Dr. Darius Daniels. He pastors a church, a multi-campus church in the US called Change Church. And he was on a podcast. I don't remember whose podcast it was. It was either Tim Ross or Lecrae. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And he was talking about the difference between a blueprint and a playbook. A playbook is essentially you just doing what other people have done.
Yeah.
A blueprint is you doing something that has not been done before. So funny enough, I was having this conversation with my cousin yesterday, and it's about generational patterns and generational curses. You see, here we like to make things very like, the spirit, and is something hovering. That way you don't have agency and you don't have to take responsibility for anything.
Story.
So when it's a spirit, it's not your fault, right? But when you can identify patterns,
Yes.
and you've decided that this thing is not going to continue with me, and there's something about having children that makes it. I'm not having. This is not a negotiation. I'm not here. I'm not even going to argue with you.
Yes.
This is what I'm doing. You can either get on board or dot.
Exactly.
You fill in the blank for yourself, right? So, so you having to change and you having to do something different and be something that you've never really seen before. If you are concerned, and this is going back to what we were talking about before about, people pleasing.
Yeah.
If you are concerned about making people happy and following the trends and following, what is popular or what is acceptable.
Yeah.
Even in a family setting. Now, if we take this conversation to another place, Yele, you and I knew how we grew up.
Yes, ma.
And our parents, we love them. We honor them. Look, I have fantastic parents. They did the best they could. I am a product of their sacrifice. I am a product of their blood, sweat, and tears. I honor them. They're not perfect. They did the best they could.
Who is?
And I am grateful for them. Especially when you see certain setups where parents use money as a tool of control. And more often than not, because maybe they're scared, because maybe they don't know any better, they just follow, right? And obviously there's the comfort of growing up in comfort. You don't want to do something different, but you also need to understand that it comes at a cost. 100%. Nothing is free.
No.
The scariest thing for me is to be on my deathbed. And I think there is something, we don't like to talk about death. We don't. There is this Roman, I don't know if it's a saying or mythology. It's called memento mori. So as the legend goes, whenever a Roman soldier would come back from a battle or a victory, he would have his victory parade in the center of town. Next to him, there would be a slave telling him memento mori, which means remember death. So at your highest of highs, you need to understand that you're going to die one day.
100%.
There is something very clarifying about death. When you understand that tomorrow is not promised, there are some preoccupations that become inconsequential.
Yes.
So things like, what would they say?
Yeah.
How will it look?
When you
What
learn
would
to
they
number
think?
your days, that's it.
Teach
all
us
this
to number our
days.
days so that we might apply our hearts to
That's
wisdom.
it. That's
And
it.
come on, understand, people are really not thinking about it that much. That's just the truth, right? So there is something about death, and what I hope, I'm bringing it back to this book. My hope that of what people take away from this book is there is an urgency with which you need to live your life. And if you understand that there is an urgency with which you need to live your life, you understand that the things that are in you that are holding you back, the trauma you've experienced, the things that you've held on to, that you've not let go of, that are preventing you from stepping into the fullness of who God made you, so you can do the things that He has called you to do. Whatever that thing is, please sit and deal with it. We like to, again, if it's a word, religiosify certain things that, need work. Some things go by prayer. Some things you need to sit down and deal with. And sometimes someone calls it spiritual bypassing. We try and use spiritual terms like, oh, the Lord will do it. Oh,
No.
let's
In
pray.
God's time. Things like
Yes.
that.
Sweetheart, you need to go for therapy.
Mm.
Like
Work on it.
there's no, you need to go for therapy.
Mm.
In a way, you feel like praying about it means that you're doing something about it. And again, please, I don't want to, prayer is important. Please,
100%.
I am the last person that will tell you that prayer doesn't matter. Prayer matters. And
Faith works.
thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Do the work.
Thank you. And the work is going deep, digging deep, figuring out where these wounds are, understanding what put them there, understanding how to unpack them, understanding so that you do not become the thing that you hate.
Eh.
Right? It's very easy for you to like, oh, my daddy did this, my mommy did this, they are that. Well, okay, they've done their part, they've done their bits. If you keep focusing on all the things that they did wrong, you cannot go on your own healing journey so that you can be better.
victim.
You can't.
Yeah.
You cannot. You can't. I don't know how we got here, but yeah.
No, but it's true. You can't
Yeah.
keep playing victim. How
Yeah.
do you want to move forward? How do you want to heal?
Yeah.
And I know this is digresses a little bit, but it just came into my mind. I remember when once I was on a prayer call and one of my big sis, she mentioned, say, that prophecy will come out. They'll say, God has said you are going to be a pilot. You'll be flying planes. Something as simple as that. She now said, okay, they sit for your house now. Sit there. Don't go for pilot training. Don't go and learn engineering or whatever it is that is required. It is good to pray. It is good to have faith. It is good. It is great. Because prayer in itself, it shakes tables. But God has said you need to do the work.
Seest thou a man diligent in his work?
That's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, I think even in this generation, I actually thought that it would have stopped by now.
It's
Not
probably,
stopped.
I think it's worse.
It's
actually.
even worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
People are lazy. That's the truth. They are lazy. Nobody wants to do the work.
Yeah.
You just think, okay, let me pray to that big man in the sky. And they said how we should pray. I know how to pray. Today I'm on Hallelujah Challenge. Tomorrow I'm on NSPD, PPP, or the other PPP.
And then we want to appropriate all the promises and all the blessings and all the
No.
Abraham's blessings are mine. Are they?
And we can sing. No, and we can sing that song.
Yeah. But do you know what Abraham went through? Abraham had to leave his daddy. He said, leave and go to a place I will show you. He didn't know where he was going. So by the time you want to appropriate Abraham's blessings,
know what you are
asking.
Exactly.
We like to, and it's interesting, I've been in this character study of David. We like to think of all these big men in the Bible.
Elijah's fire.
Yes.
That guy was doing gymnastics.
He wanted to die.
The guy was troubled.
He wanted to die. Literally, after doing such great miracles, he was like, I want to die.
God of Elijah, visit me. Hey, fire. Do you know what that comes with? People just be calling everywhere. And the guy was doing... Is that the one that was putting his head on that?
Yes, he put his head in his lap. So it was when he was trying to call down rain.
Yeah. Do it now.
Yeah.
There was another one that in the Bible, the guy was on his side. It wasn't Elijah, it was the same Elijah. 30 days.
It was one prophet, I forget. So he had to lie down on one side and then lie down on another side. Was it Isaiah? I'm not sure.
Was it his
one of those prophets?
Ezekiel?
It was Ezekiel. Yes,
Can they lie down like this?
I think
God
you're
and
right.
release let the bones rise.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, so it's
No.
this God journey. It's not easy. But it's worth it. You become someone you like.
Of course it's worth it. You start living in your purpose, right? God have mercy on us.
All right, guys. I know we've already started unpacking, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back soon. All right, guys, we're back and I'm just going to go straight into it. So I want you to take us back to little Adaobi. So before you wrote the book, before the woman you have become, when did you first learn to shrink, to stay quiet and essentially keep your voice silent? When did it happen?
So it wasn't a specific occurrence or incident. But I just remember this idea or this thinking that it's had to do with weight and food.
Yes.
And going into secondary school, it got worse, right? So it was more so, why are you always eating? Don't eat that, drop it. Can't you see that you are so big? Can't you, do you get what I'm saying? And so when you hear things like that, I just wanted to kind of,
not
you get what I'm saying? You just want to kind of like just go down. You just don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it got worse in secondary school. You know, kids can be mean. And I went to boarding school, which, you know, my parents and I had this conversation. It was a mistake. I had no business going to boarding school. None. In fact, my 7-year-old has warned me. She said, "Mommy, I'm not going to anybody." I said, "No problem." Yes, there is something I needed because I was a very sensitive child.
Yeah.
I needed a place to go to every day that I was safe. I didn't have that. And it does something to your mind when for 3 months at a stretch, you are on high alert because you're waiting to hear the next thing that somebody is going to say that you need to protect yourself from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it for me.
Gosh, I think about my own experiences and I say, for me, because of the type of personality that I have, I was able to use my, do I call it false confidence, to mask my insecurities. So if somebody would say, you're taking another 7, and other people have taken though, but because they just feel like, are you supposed to be having more? I'll just be like, what is it now? Free for all. Like, I would always find a comeback quick. But inside, I was rotting. Inside, I was in pain. But nobody would ever know. And it has almost become robotic. Sometimes I'm not even conscious that I'm doing it. To the point that people make comments, or I've learned that make fun of yourself first. So that nobody can,
yes.
disarm them immediately. So they're like, oh, I can't even use this as a weapon against you
Or
because
you're using your own mouth to denigrate your own self.
Exactly.
That's heavy.
Exactly. So what does that do
heavy.
to a person over time?
Yeah. And
What
I
does
talk
that
about
do?
that then.
Exactly.
Yeah, so when you start to become, it's one thing for the voice that is putting you down to be someone
external.
else's. When it starts to sound like you,
Exactly. And what does God say about the power
yeah,
of the
life
tongue?
and death.
It's life and death.
Literally.
So you are using your own mouth to poison yourself,
Yeah.
to kill your spirit. And what does that do
And you
to
think
a
you're
person?
being sharp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important that parents pay attention. Every child needs to be custom how
Very
you
differently.
parent very differently.
Yeah.
Maybe for me, even though I had this like personality, maybe I also needed to be in a safe space as well. Maybe it was wrong for me to go far away all the way to England for boarding school.
Same.
Even though in school I thrived. I was in drama, sports, I was in everything. But inside, deep down, and I think it might even be more dangerous for people like us.
Because people cannot see
No,
it.
but Yele, you describe me.
Yele.
Yeah.
You know, in the clique of big girls,
Yes. Nobody can talk.
I used to think, no, Yele is fine. I can't see Yele is. I used to think I was the one that is, oh my God.
God, woe
You
is
don't
me.
like me, I'm so big.
Woe is all of us there. I just had a good mask.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody just always thought, Yele is fine.
Yeah.
She's okay.
Yeah.
But in my own quiet moments, and the only person that could really see that was my husband. He said, Adeyele, I can see, I can see you. I was like, what do you mean you can see me? I mean, I can see myself. What I'm saying? He said, I can see. When he first met, he said, I can see you.
How did that make you feel?
Oof. Broke me. Totally broke me.
It broke you to be seen like that.
Yes.
Why?
Because nobody, and there I say, I love my family, but nobody ever even if they saw it, nobody voiced it out. And it was just those words, because my husband is quiet, it's not like me, complete opposite of me. He just said, I can't see you. It felt like he was looking into me. I don't know how to put it into words, but he just let me feel seen in a way that other people haven't.
And it wasn't comfortable, was it?
Because I was saying, no, what do you mean? I'm good now. I'm what do you mean? I'm Yele. What are you trying to say? I said, I can see you.
Yeah. It's I think sometimes it takes, and in my opinion, that's what marriage should be.
Yes.
It takes someone who has not been in your context to be able to, because the people
Fresh
that love
eyes.
you, people that love you, that you've grown up with, they can't see it. The same way you can't also see their stuff.
That's crazy.
Yes, I have conversations with my sister-in-law from time to time, and it's very interesting to me how she has a different perspective on our family dynamic, and I would not have thought it that way before. And many times her and my husband actually kind of agree in their perspectives.
Yeah, because they are.
Yeah, so there's something about being able to have someone who has a different lens to give you a different perspective, to see it how you've never seen it before. And I think there is something about that kind of helps you to understand that perhaps there's a different way.
God have mercy. I want you to tell me a little bit about the book. If you could
Yeah.
summarize it, just tell us what to expect.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody's healing is different,
Yeah.
but I know what I've actually anyway, we can go into this personally, but what can people expect to get from this book?
So I wrote this book for it to be what I didn't have when I was 15 and 25 and 30. In a way, I wrote it because it was something I wish my mother had as well,
God have
even
mercy.
in her 30s and her 40s and her 50s, because before she died, one of the things that she said was that if she had more time, so my mom passed from cancer, and she believed until the end that God was going to heal her. And one of the things she said was that when she's healed, she's going to be a writer and a speaker. And I allude to it in the book that this is not just for me. In many ways, it's for her as well. It's what I want people to leave this book with is I want you to feel seen.
Yes.
I want you to feel heard. I want you to feel that you carry worth.
Yes.
I want you to understand that you are a victim of things, but you are also responsible for coming out of those things.
Yeah.
I want you to see that you have agency and that there are steps. Because sometimes when you're faced with a problem and it seems so big, you don't know. So for me anyway, I'm like, okay, what is the step? What is the next steps? So in the book, I refer to frameworks that I believe the Holy Spirit gave me.
Yes.
That just one foot in front of the other. Okay, I understand that there are things that I have gone through that have been done to me. I understand that it has been preventing me from living in the authenticity of who God called me to be according to my divine design.
Yep.
Okay, and so I understand that this is a problem. I understand that addressing it may mean some relationships are going to break.
Yes.
I understand that addressing it means I'm going to have to pay a price. But I understand that the cost of staying the same has become much higher than the cost of changing. And so what do I need to do to change? What are the first steps? And we talk about that in the book. And then when I go through that process, what can I expect? Right? Because at the end of the day, when we are changed and we go through that healing journey, it's not just for us. There are people that we are sent to. So what does that look like? How do we know when we are ready? And what does being ready look like? And who are we called to? And how do we share that message? So the book is broken down into 3 movements. The reckoning, which is self-explanatory. You have to reckon with the fact that there's an issue. The return, which is how do we then start to go back to this place of authenticity and go on this healing journey. And then the third movement is the release. And so you're releasing your voice in service to the world. So that's what the book is about.
Do you think it is possible for somebody to be between the release, right? And remind me of the middle one.
The return.
The return. Because I feel like I'm in between those two. Like
I think that in different I think the way I think about the way I partitioned it, I think in different times of your life, in different areas of your life, you're going to find that you're in different places. Yeah.
Because that's how I'm feeling
Yeah.
right now, where yes, I'm more than happy I've lost friends. I mean, like when I say, well, were they even friends in the first place? But I have lost relationships because of how I have decided to change the course of my life.
Yeah.
And the audacity to say, I don't necessarily agree with this. The audacity to say,
that this is my alignment, this is my now, where am I lying? Like, it's me and God. And I think that there was an episode I did a while back, and it was about Nicodemus and being bold in your faith. And you know how this man was so concerned about his title and his power and the influence that he had. He knew who Jesus was. He knew. In fact, maybe they met at night. They met, they spoke. He knew who he was. But because he was in this golden cage, right, which I have found that even me, we kind of grew up like
yes,
that.
we did. 100%.
We grew up in a golden cage. They said the daughter of this person, the son of that one. And you're not allowed to live in the fullness of who God has created you to be. It is dangerous. Because God will ask you when you come, what were you doing there?
So when we are told, or when we get to the point where we have to give an account for our lives, what I'm about to say may be problematic. We're not going to do it in families, though.
You're on your own. No?
There's no the
OYO.
family of this thing, or you come and give an account. You're gonna do it by yourself.
That's scary.
Right? You're going to have to give an account. And so this idea of there is a safety, and I say this, I used to be very guilty of this. I used to take or derive safety and comfort from this is the right thing to do because they said this is the right thing to do. A lot of people live their lives, the rest of their lives, like that. And then you get to the end, and all of these they are facing, many of them are probably gone.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're living out your life based on your thinking of what people expect. You're going to give an account.
100%.
And saying my mommy said and my daddy said, or my auntie said and my uncle said, is not going to fly. Isn't like it is not enough. So no this and no peace. And if you do decide that, irrespective of that, you're still going to make decisions that align with that, that's fine. But you can't claim ignorance. That's it. You can't. It's going to cost you something.
It's going to cost you something.
Choose the one that you want.
And unfortunately, a lot of people are so tied to the things of this world. Relationships. And you know, if I say this now, the minister of Kinikon will say he's not my friend, doesn't want to partner with me. Or you lose friends who you think are influential, blah, blah, blah. God forgive me, to hell with that. To hell.
I think at some point you're going to have to decide whether God is as powerful as you say that he is.
Yes. But to hell with that. I don't care. And dare I say, even your mother, your father. Because on that day, see, your mom has gone. She has answered for her own, and she's chilling now. Do you understand? They didn't call Mr.
They didn't call.
Oko. They didn't call him.
They didn't call her mommy and her daddy. They didn't call her sisters and her brothers.
No.
They didn't call any of them.
And guess what? We cannot see that thing we are talking about, victim mentality. You can't say, because my mother did this to me, that's why I'm not stepping into. It's not going to fly.
The problem is that I think maybe for our parents' generation it could have worked because they did not know any better. We don't have
an excuse.
See, there is, I forget who I heard this term from, the democratization of knowledge. The problem with knowing is that you know. You don't have an excuse anymore. And so thank you. It's not you don't. You just, at that point, it's not ignorance, it's a decision.
It's a decision you've made.
Right?
Yes.
And so when you are deciding to, and someone is going to pay, and your children
God forbid
are going to pay. And so maybe, to your point, maybe there's something about having children and seeing them
just changes.
Move through the world, because I know the dynamics in the relationship between myself and my mom changed significantly when I had my first child. And there was, and I think I wrote about it there as well, there were just some things I was no longer, it was okay if I was the one bearing the brunt. It was not going to happen to my children. Yeah, I tell you, there are some people who don't know what my second child looks like. And if left to me alone, it's going to remain like that. You don't need to know.
You don't need to know.
Like, I don't want you to be in the same vicinity with these people, because I cannot vouch. I know how long it has taken me to detox from this. I'm not going to expose them to that.
For their own benefit, I beg, please. I want to ask you, who made you feel like your voice was not important or safe?
Secondary school, my teachers.
Chai.
Yeah. Secondary school, my teachers. Wow. Yeah. And it was such a huge contrast because my primary school was not like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aren't teachers supposed to encourage us to
Yeah.
use our voices?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No.
for you, it was keep quiet.
1,000%. 1,000%.
And bear in mind, secondary school was 6 years.
6 years. 3 months at a stretch, please understand. So you wake up every day. Yeah,
Is
it
that
is
constant?
systematic. It is constant. It is consistent at a very critical time in your development.
Your
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. It's formative years. Yeah,
And it's like poison. You're just drinking it every day.
1,000%.
And for you to get that out of your system,
It takes years.
Yes.
And in many ways, I don't know if you can get it out 100%. But
Hey.
again, God, I mean, I stand to be corrected, but I am not there yet.
Neither. am
Having
I.
said that, I do feel like God repurposes that because you've tasted it. You know what it's like. You can recognize it when you see. In fact, I had a family member reach out to me some time ago, an older family member. They wanted to put their child in boarding school. I didn't know what boarding school they wanted to put their child in, but I
Right.
knew the child. I was like, don't you dare. If you do that, you're
Based
going
off
to
your-
lose.
you're
You're
going
going
to
to
lose
lose that child.
Especially in the climate
1,000%.
of now, like today's climate.
1,000%.
You're
And I
done.
knew their parenting style. It wasn't like my parents. In not like, so my parents, because in my house we were still vocal. In fact, sometimes when people see me and my mom talking and they wonder whether she's my mom or my sister.
Sister.
In fact, when you see me and my dad talking sometimes and they're like, I said, leave my dad. My dad is my guy. Forget. We had that. So in a way, that was some kind of release.
Yes.
Imagine having tightness in school, tightness at home.
Forget
It's a
it. You're done.
whole other ballgame.
And then you wonder why people are walking around and they are vagabonds.
Funny enough, so Moy and I, my husband and I had, we went for a dinner thing 2 days ago, and there was this couple sitting next to us, and we just got talking, and we're talking about, parenting and being strict. And he was talking to us about a member of his family who their parents in the older generation, so his parents' generation, was very strict with the daughter, very hard. Father was very hard, and apparently the daughter just went off the rails. Apparently, and I'm like, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
See, when it comes to girls, the most important relationship a girl has is a relationship she has with her dad. I am a proud daddy's, without apology. I make no apologies for it. I'm a very proud daddy's girl, and there is a confidence that you get from home.
Yes.
When boys come and start talking smess, you'll be like, but
my daddy has been telling me that I'm beautiful since morning. What other value are you bringing to the table?
Come and be going. I'm like, this is your story.
But it's
Like,
true.
Yeah, but it's true.
It's true. And I think men, I hope that narrative is changing where they just think that their job is just to provide.
I think
you're
it is.
providing. Use your words to speak life.
Yeah.
Use your words to build up their confidence, their future, so that nobody will come and tell them, or they don't get validated. The worst place to get it from the world. Because today the world will tell you, yes, you are like this. Tomorrow, you're done.
It's changing. It's not constant.
It's not constant. But at home, because of the love that they have for you, and hopefully your parents are aligned with Christ, that will feed through now.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you see some girls outside. They will tell you that their shoulder is high because when they go home, they know they are loved. They know that their father, for them,
You
they are
can
the-
always identify
you can
them.
tell.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. I beg, please. So I think again, I don't know. We keep talking about parents, but maybe it's because that's where the
that's
season
where
of-
we are.
That's where we are right now. And I was saying this earlier today. I was like, my husband, every single day, Ogo, you are smart. Ogo, you are this, you are that. You even when she's when she's being, maybe that we're not extreme, but because we understand the power of our tongue, right? Even when she's being naughty, he will say like, you're a good girl. Oh. I am being so serious. He will tell her, you are a good girl. Whatever it is that is causing you to behave in a way that we do not want, you are a good child. And it is important. And I think another thing I keep saying is that, and I've said it in previous episodes, God has told us that we will have accounts for every word.
Yes.
Flimsy words we just say, oh, you are stupid.
Girl, that's tough, man.
Oh, you are this, you are that. I know we are going all over the place, but I'm telling you right now, you will give an account for every single word. So when you say, oh, stupid, they are noting it down now. And people forget that words have power. You said it. I will not forget it. Words have formative power. You call somebody an ode enough times, they will become an ode.
1000%. Yeah.
You call somebody stupid, watch it over time. That's what will happen.
And so it boggles my mind when I hear parents talk about their children like that. I don't get it.
You just call people anyhow. You just say rubbish. And I think it's because people have forgotten the power of the word. People have forgotten. We are not meditating on the word enough for it to stick that I can't just be talking anyhow. And this lady, I think she's a reverend or a bishop now, Funke Felix Adejumo. She said, all of you on your wedding day, I'll never forget when you are saying your vows, for better or for.
Yeah,
And I guess she was just trying to make a point that on the day when you are making a covenant with God, my dear, pick your words wisely. In what and in health. So I understand what she was trying to say. Obviously, life will happen. People get sick. People, go broke and things like that. But what she was just trying to say is that when you are speaking and you are making
watch
what you are saying. So when you are speaking into the life of your child, you are the one that gives them the audacity to have a voice. You are giving them that. Yeah, it starts at home. Nobody can come and talk to you anyhow. Say, do you know where I'm coming from? And your father does not need to be Dangote or whoever we think is so powerful and so influential. No, it's that audacity. You see some people, and you just wonder, why are they so confident? Go and check our woman, see who has helped to raise them and mold them.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it is. My next question is, so a lot of us have put our healing on the back burner because life is just
Lifing.
happening. We are mothering, we are marrying, we are building, we
We
are
are wifing.
friendshipping. How did you realize unhealed parts of you were showing up in those areas? So what are the key things that you saw? Because I'm not healing, it's showing up in my marriage, it's showing up in my friendships, it's showing up in my relationships, that type of thing.
Chai.
Because it will show up.
It wasn't so much how it was showing up in those spaces. It was the emotions I would feel after interactions.
Okay.
So I would commit myself to doing something that I knew I didn't have the capacity for because I wanted to be nice.
People pleasing.
And people pleasing, and I did not want them to feel like I was being mean. And then I would get overwhelmed. And then I would be resentful towards this person. And then I would start thinking bad thoughts about this person. But then in my moments of clarity, I would be like, this person did not do anything. So that's one example. Or maybe let's say I want my husband to do something, but I didn't say what I wanted him to do.
No, because we think we
Yes,
can read our...
he's
a
psychic,
mind reader.
He's a mind reader. And then I would get upset that the man did not do what I did
You
not
should
tell
know
him to
now.
do.
That's the
Thank
idea.
you.
They
Thank
should
you.
know.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, or I would have a shouting match with my mom. And then after I would feel guilty because I shouldn't be having a shouting match with her.
Yeah.
But again, I was trying to bully her to approve of the things that I wanted her to. In a weird way, I wanted her approval.
Wow.
And I thought that the way to get her to approve was to keep going back and forth and keep trying to force her to approve of what I was doing. So yeah, it just shows up in different... I noticed it in my interactions and in my different relationships. And I was the common denominator. Right? So I had to start asking myself some questions. I wasn't a fan of the person that I was, and which is why something I say quite a bit is I am becoming someone I like. There is something endearing about that. There is something validating about that. And to do that or to go through that journey because God is at the center and God is powering it, there is no kind of validation that feels sweeter. And coming on the other side, in some regard, because it's a lifelong
still a
journey,
lifelong.
right? So becoming someone you like, knowing it is powered by God, knowing that the validation you're getting it from God. There's something very, very powerful about that, especially because, as you know, the way we've grown up, for the most part, a lot of the time, people use religion as a tool of oppression, as a tool of control, and more often than not. So I was watching an episode. I don't remember the podcast. I think it was I Said What I Said. There was a lady on it, and I think she was talking about, can you be, now this is going to be a very inflammatory word, can you be a feminist and can you be a Christian at the same time? And my question was, what do you define? So the
Exactly,
word
you have to-
you have to define it, because the word feminism has so been weaponized.
Yeah, it has bad connotations
Yes.
now.
Yeah, it has bad, but we forget, and it was something my pastor said once. He was like, look, if we go back to the original intention and definition of feminism, the church should actually be the ones championing
Yes.
and promoting it, right?
Yes.
And so you have people who, quite frankly, probably don't really read their Bibles.
Yep.
They approach it from a perspective of, you have a point that you're holding. It's not from curiosity, it is from confirmation bias. So you have an idea in your head of what you believe is already true. And so, okay, now I'm going to do equal opportunity blasting. So you have an idea in your head of what is true, and then you're looking for Bible verses to confirm it, as opposed to, if we look through the story that the whole Bible is telling, what's it saying about this matter? I'll give an example. Let me blast my gender now. You know how we like to say, oh, that the Bible says, they quote 1 Timothy 5, I think it's from 2, that any man that does not provide for his wife is like a cheat.
I didn't know.
And they know, and they use it to justify why they are looking for somebody who they can just siphon and
Yeah, the one that
suck
just
the man dry,
exactly.
right? And he has to sit there and take it. I mean, if you actually look at that Bible verse in context, Paul was talking about widows. So if you're not a widow, I'm not quite sure that you can. And he was talking about how people, so the reason why he brought this up was because there were people who would have widows in their families and they wouldn't take care of them. And so his point was that, how can you not take care of someone in your family? You are worse than an infidel. So now use that to justify someone who is asking for Chanel and Hermes and Balenciaga and saying that you must give it to. You don't know God. You don't. That's manipulation. You cannot use a Bible verse to justify you trying to ask for things that because you feel like whatever is your whim, you should be given because you're female. That was not God's intention, right? Genesis 1, Genesis 2 is the original design. Everything else after is God trying to get us back to Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So using that as some kind of yardstick to measure a man's worth or contribution.
It's totally,
I don't know if you have men in your life that you really love. Let's park that. Now, for men and patriarchy, it's the whole, Ephesians 5, where they talk about, submit and I'm so tired of. Or when they quote 1 Corinthians and they say Paul said that women should be quiet in the church. I'm just like, okay,
only
cool.
let your husband talk.
Okay, cool. So, what justified Deborah? Explain Deborah.
Explain what she was
Explain
doing.
her to me. Right?
Estanko.
Explain Esther to me. Explain Priscilla.
Exactly.
Explain Lydia. Like, where do we even start from? So I don't. Some debates. I don't.
Best to stay
there's no
out of.
point. Like, go and ask the Holy Spirit to tell you. I can't help you. Please.
All right, guys. I'm gonna say that this is the end of part 1 of this voice within episode. So thank you guys so much for listening. I will be back very soon. Bye.
Peace.